Hey guys, Richard here with Downgrid Survival. It is dark 30 and I'm out here making this video because our nuclear threat is at a whole new level and you need to be aware of it. Here's what's going on. For the last several days, we know there's been a lot of chatter about a possible dirty bomb in Ukraine. If you haven't heard about it, it's some chatter going on saying that someone's going to set off a dirty bomb. There's speculation as to whom and to when and to why. I think we all know why, but here's where it's been ramped up to a new level. Yesterday, sometime late yesterday, the defense minister, the Russian defense minister, called the United States Secretary of Defense. He also called his counterpart in France, Turkey, and also in the UK, and informed them that they're expecting that the Ukrainians are going to detonate a dirty nuclear bomb real soon. Now, a couple things about that. First, I've never heard of a dirty nuclear bomb. There's either a nuclear bomb or there's a dirty bomb. They're two separate things. We'll talk about that more in just a second. But he is sounding the alarm saying it's going to happen. Well, here's a couple things we know that's been happening recently. A couple of weeks ago, Russia was supposed to conduct a nuclear test. And that was put on hold because of everything going on. And I guess they didn't want to stir the pot. So that was put on hold. We also know that last week, China announced to their citizens in Ukraine and said, get out now. And following suit, Turkey and a bunch of other European countries started telling their citizens the same thing, get out of Ukraine now. So we all know, and you probably heard this already, so we all know that something is coming. There's something up with these actions that have been taken. Now yesterday, with that phone call to Western world leaders saying that Ukraine is going to set off a dirty bomb. Well, one thing we know about Russia is they like to give a pretext to what they're about to do. They're real good about saying one thing while they're doing something completely different, or giving just a pretext to what their intentions really are. And so there is huge speculation right now that Russia, excuse me, that Russia is getting ready to detonate some type of nuclear or dirty bomb device within Ukraine. And that should be very concerning for all of us. Now, those same world leaders have pushed back and said that they condemn this, that they don't believe that Ukraine is behind this at all. They believe that Russia is, in fact, given a pretext to what they're about to do. So they're pushing back on it, which is a good thing, right? I mean, nobody wants this to happen. Also, they made it known that the United States has opened up communications with Russia, kind of like they had in the Cold War, where they had the red telephone, just pick up the phone and somebody on the other end answers it, a decision maker on the other end. They kind of alluded to the fact that those communications have now been opened because they don't want things to escalate. Well, they don't want to escalate them from what? From this actually happening? So there's indications here that this is actually going to happen sometime in the very near future, whether it be hours or whether it be days away. It's going to happen soon, it sounds like. But at least they're saying that they have these open communications to prevent any further escalation before, to prevent this thing from getting out of hand and going global. Well, here's my thoughts on this. We have an illegitimate president that was installed here 2 years ago who is clearly very, very demented, he's lost his mind. He's not the decision maker. It's very clear in my mind and in most people's minds that he is not the decision maker. He is not the one running the United States of America. And all the things that he's been doing, all the policies he's been instituting are things that have been force-fed to him, placed in front of him that he signs, and which has led us down this path to where we are now. We know that someone within the United States government has been poking the bear. They've been instigating this war in Ukraine. They've been instigating a war with Russia. They're instigating China and really provoking those actions because it really seems like someone in the government or whoever is controlling the government is really trying to get something started. We know that the World Economic Forum is trying to take over the world. That's clear. That's out there. That's not speculation. That's not conspiracy theory. That information is out there now. They want the Great Reset. They want to do this. And in another video that I just posted a couple days ago, and I put a link to it, you know, I talked about how you can overthrow a superpower. And this is part of that, what they're going to do. They've taken steps to bring the United States to their knees, and now it's all about the final push, right? And I think that we're leading up to that final push. Nuclear war or a global conflict is going to be the push that causes us to fail, given the state of our affairs right now, given the state of our military, who, quite frankly, would have trouble defending pretty much anything these days, much less trying to fight a global war somewhere across the seas. So we have reached a point where I think we are going to see some type of nuclear event. I really believe so. I think, you know, it's been escalating for months. We've been talking about it for months. Other YouTubers have been talking about it for months, speculating that, you know, things keep escalating. Things keep escalating. Well, you can only escalate so far before you reach D-Day, Detonation Day. And I think we've about reached Detonation Day. So whoever's pulling the strings, whatever their ultimate plan is, I don't think that it's going to be stopped. I think we're going to see something in the very near future. Here's what you need to be doing about it. You need to travel with your EDC bag, your everyday carry bag. If you don't travel with one now, I'm telling you, you should be traveling with one. Assemble one if you don't have one. It's simple. Grab some necessary supplies, throw them in a pillowcase, throw them in a piece of luggage, throw them in a briefcase, throw them in, you know, a backpack if you have it, something that you can have with you at all times. And it should include things like some dehydrated food, some water purification, some defense tools if you have it, you know, some medical supplies, iodine tablets, you know, garbage bag to cover yourself from fallout, which we're going to do another video here real soon about that, about nuclear fallout. But there are things that you should be thinking about that you might need should you get caught somewhere during some type of event. Now, do I think there's going to be an event here in the United States? No, I don't think so. I pray cooler heads will prevail and that this will not escalate any further than this. But nonetheless, it's going to be devastating. Whatever type of event it is, whether it be nuclear or whether it be a dirty bomb, it's going to be devastating, and it's going to shake the world. It's going to shake the planet, and people are going to, they're just going to panic. You're going to see a run on the stores. You're going to see a run on the banks, quite possibly, because people aren't going to know what's coming next. None of us know what's coming next. But once that goes off and it hits mainstream media, people are going to panic. All those people around you right now that have not prepped, they're going to make a run for it to gather supplies, just like they did at the very beginning of the COVID. So expect that. Expect chaos to ensue. Is it going to be mass rioting? Probably not. But things are going to get ugly real fast, and plan for that. So wherever you are, you may have a hard time getting back home again. So just plan for that, okay? I can't tell you enough. Plan for that. Make sure you have some supplies in your vehicle at your work location, some things that you can carry with you, so that you have a means to survive and get back home if it becomes necessary. But like I said, we got some more videos coming out about that. Hey, I wanted to circle back real quick before I end this video to talk about nuclear bomb versus a dirty bomb. And there's a lot of people that still get these confused. A nuclear bomb is exactly what most people envision. It is the giant blast, the giant mushroom cloud, the complete obliteration of everything for miles and miles, you know, complete vaporization of everything for miles and miles, and then nuclear fallout that extends, you know, could extend hundreds of miles, where nuclear dust and debris just kind of rains down and contaminates areas. That's a nuclear bomb, okay? A dirty bomb is a conventional weapon, okay? It's nothing more than a standard cruise missile, or it could be nothing more than a suitcase bomb, a pressure cooker bomb. It could be anything like that. Oh, the FBI is going to watch this video because of all those words I just used. It can be any type of conventional weapon like that. It simply explodes and it destroys a vehicle, or the front of a building, or part of a building, or something like that. That's the blast radius. That's as far as it goes. But the device is actually packed with some of this contaminated material, contaminated nuclear material, and that gets dispersed into the air. And once that gets into the air, the prevailing winds, then start blowing it around so it can spread for several blocks, or it can even spread for several miles depending on how big the device is. But you don't have that nuclear blast for several blocks or for several miles. The blast is contained to just a small area, but it's the nuclear debris, the nuclear dust material that's inside this thing that gets carried out further. And we're only talking, you know, blocks or maybe a couple of miles, again, depending on how big the device was. That's a dirty bomb. And the whole purpose of it is to contaminate an area, to make an area unusable. If you get, you know, nuclear debris and stuff on you, it's going to burn. If you get enough of it on you, it can make you very sick. If you get enough of it on you, it can kill you. But the further out it dissipates and it floats and gets away from the main impact zone, the weaker it becomes and it's less concentrated. So chances are it'll just make you sick if you're some distance away from it. So that's the difference between nuclear versus a dirty bomb. So in this news article, which Fox News carried it late last night, and I almost came out here late last night to do this video, but Fox News had breaking news last night, and now it's buried down on their homepage, you know, 7-8 articles down. But they're the ones that carried it and was talking about this. Let's see what else. So yeah, it's the information is out there now. Go search for it, go look for it. But just be aware that something is amiss. It's escalated to a point now to where open lines of communication have been established and warnings are going out. And, you know, of course, you're not going to hear much of that here in the United States because everything has been censored. So we're kind of flying blind. So if you really want to know what's going on, you know, go look for some overseas news channels and you'll get some better information. Hey, that's it for this video. I'll try to get another video out real soon that I think you're going to enjoy. And you know what? Good luck to all of us, right? Let's pray this doesn't happen. Let's pray that we're all wrong. But it sure is looking like there's about to be an incident. Stay safe.